This is what we did. We came out with water purifiers, which were the innovative technologies, and we were the first one to have such technologies which we have innovated regularly with number of patents. That's where we thought that we need to go globally, and we have gone globally. We want to make our company as an MNC company present in all parts of the world. The technology which we have and the demonstration which we have done in India is finding success in many, many countries. Besides India, we have successes in Bangladesh, we have success in Sri Lanka, in Dubai, in Iran, Iraq, and we're going to now Latin America and many other countries. So you can, this is what I wish to tell you, that you come out with your processes and you will find a great market. And market is, we need to create brands which is most important aspect to sell your products or even your services. So creation of brands and intellectual property will take you globally. This is my firm belief, and I would like you all to have your dreams and your confidence that you can do it, and you'll certainly succeed. And I like to answer any questions which you have. That would be much better rather than I prophesizing any further. Thank you. Would you like me to do answers right now or later? Together? Okay. Thank you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to invite 3 of our speakers to share their insights, post which we'll then open the floor for questions. So up next, I'm going to invite Mr. Mahesh Lingareddy, the founder and chairman of Smartron, to also share his thoughts with the audience. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Sorry for the hiccup. I prefer this format. Since the topic is about building global brands, I thought I would share a little bit about what we are doing at Smartron, but more importantly, the story behind Smartron and what was the motivation. One of the main reasons, the founding vision behind Smartron is looking at this alarming trend, looking at GDP between India and China. If you look at it in 1990s, we're about the same size, and as you can see over the last 2 decades, the gap widened. Today, I think we are 5x smaller. Our Chinese economy is 5x larger than India. What has happened? While we're stuck in services, over the last 10-15 years, Chinese have built up number of product brands. Initially, it starts off as a homegrown knockoff cheap brands, but over time, if you give them the opportunity, they become global brands. So if you look at from Lenovo to Huawei to Xiaomi, there are many more, Oppo, Vivo, across the board, right? It's not just devices or systems or OEMs, but silicon components like Rockchip or Spectrum, Alibaba, Baidu. So across the entire categories, they have created massive set of brands, whereas we have not done much in the last 2 decades. Again, this one shows top 100 most valuable companies in the world. Of course, US has 53. As you can see, China has about 10. This is probably a couple of years ago. It's probably increased. What you will see is India doesn't figure in this list. We seem to serve others. We innovate for pretty much every global brand out there. We are really good at serving them, because if you look at the number of patents we file for our own brands or our own companies, we file less patents than Iran. I think we talk about IITs, and we are very proud of producing a lot of engineers and whatnot. But the reality is we don't really create a lot of IP. We are very happy being service providers and the back office. If you look at the top 50 brands, only Tata, I think, is there at number 45. Other than that, all the brands are not from India. Obviously, we have realized that we are stuck in services. We need to move to building things, manufacturing things. So we started this whole Make in India. Today, Make in India to me is made by China. I mean, it's okay to have Foxconn in India, but we need Foxconn of India. We need Apple of India. We need Samsung of India. Imagine the kind of security ramifications with all the manufacturing that is all the plants are being created and set up by companies not from India, right? These are companies from other countries, whether it's China, Taiwan, Korea. What we really want is, Indian companies becoming Foxconns of India, right? So that is what real Make in India. And also manufacturing is needed, but it is not enough to create disproportionate wealth. What we need is a very strong product ecosystem beyond manufacturing. Services, manufacturing, but what is more important is we really need a innovation-driven, IP-driven, strong product ecosystem. Because if you look at the largest, let's say Apple or Google or Amazon, if you look at their valuations, now they're reaching towards $1 trillion valuations, whereas the largest electronics manufacturing company, Foxconn, its market capitalization is about $30 billion. So really, if you are looking for creating disproportionate value and wealth, you need to build IP-driven, innovation-driven products. So in my view, I built one company before Smartron. What are some of the keys to building a brand, a global brand? I think number one to me is, building a company is like making a movie. You are the sort of the entrepreneur, is the director. You start with that one-liner, then you develop the script, you find the cast, find the producers, those are our investors. Cast is like our team. So I think there has to be a very strong vision. It's not, I will get 1% of the market share, or if I work on this for 2-3 years, somebody will acquire me at this price. The vision has to be beyond numbers, right? There has to be a great story and a purpose and what we are doing, why you are doing it, and how you are doing it. And it needs to be innovation. I really believe you need to have world-class innovation. We need to build world-class products because the market is open. If you don't build world-class products, you can't compete globally, let alone India. And you need to build teams from the beginning, global teams. For my previous company, we have built the first 100, 200 people. We had teams in US, Russia, and Middle East, and India. So you need to have a global organizational footprint. You need to have global partners, all the sourcing, a lot of the IP partnerships, the supply chain, all that is going to be global, right? So that you cannot avoid. Investors, again, you have to have global investors. All this will help to create a product-focused, innovation-driven product brands. We need to have a long-term focus, a lot of patience, and also access to a lot of capital, which we don't seem to have. One of the things I believe we lack in India is lack of investment, strong investment ecosystem. We have thousands of startups. I feel like we are stuck at the beginning of the funnel. In order to push from these thousands to hundreds to tens to handful, you need tens and hundreds of millions of dollars of investment. That means you need to have tens of billions of dollars of venture capital available in the ecosystem. That simply doesn't exist. We have lots of angels and high net worth individuals giving 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 10 crores. That doesn't cut it. That's why we're sort of stuck in building services-focused, restaurant apps and real estate apps. Of course, not all gloomy. Over the last 5-10 years, we have created our own examples, whether it's Flipkart or Ola or Paytm. So, there is obviously opportunities. There are always ways to find capital outside India. And I think, the IoT and AI, Internet of Things and artificial intelligence are two big waves. They are like mainframes, PCs, mobile, internet. These are massive disruptive waves that come once in 10, 15 years. I think IoT and AI are like that. So there are tons of opportunities exist from silicon components to services to analytics services to building products, sensors, smart devices, and whatnot. So very quickly, I wanted to, next few slides, talk about what we are doing with Smartron. The founding vision is to build India-based, India's sort of first global technology brand that is really focused on innovation. We have filed more than 50 patents in the last 2 years. We've raised more than $30 million. We are about to spend another $30 million next 12 months as we roll out a lot of different products. We are trying to build an entire ecosystem because we don't have a big platform like what Amazon can offer or what Google can offer in India. So the focus is now we are building what we call Tronix, which is our sort of AI engine that connects to all the next layer of devices, variety of devices from computing to mobile to wearable to smart home and infrastructure. And then we have a variety of services where we target a variety of IoT verticals from infrastructure to smart health to smart home. So we already launched within 2 years of the company founded. We launched about 3 products in the last 6 to 9 months. All these are designed here, all the hardware, software, materials, colors, everything. We didn't go to China and pick some products and put our name on it, while building our own backend platform called the Tronix, which is sort of our intelligent IoT platform that connects all these devices to give some interesting experiences. And we are gearing up to launch about 8 more products in the next 9 to 12 months, from wearables to electric bike to ultrabooks to smart home solutions. Of course, we can't do everything on our own, so we are trying to partner with, invest in acquiring a lot of small teams that are doing interesting things so that we create an ecosystem, entire product ecosystem around Tronix, because we can possibly build every device that you can imagine. So as part of that, we have created an open innovation platform where we are working with a variety of teams across India, even outside India, in Russia and in Spain and whatnot, where we are funding and partnering. For instance, we have funded solar car development and whatnot. There's a lot of interesting ideas, a lot of interesting opportunities. We are interested in working with the entire ecosystem. So the key differentiation for us, we obviously can't beat on the pricing and all that. Chinese are good at it. They have lots of money to throw at. They can buy the market. So what we are focused on, creating a local experience. The devices are global. My phone, your phone, it's all the same. it's a Qualcomm, it's Android. What we can differentiate is really through, thanks to the AI and IoT, you can differentiate through localized experiences. Today if we look at Amazon Echo, it will give you Taylor Swift or Katy Perry music. But if you ask for Sultan or Dangal songs, it doesn't understand. So that's just one example where there are some interesting things you could do by focusing on localized experiences, taking advantage of this whole AI and IoT concepts. Thank you.
All right then, thank you very much indeed. So we'll march ahead to also invite our final speaker, who in fact is the country manager of SalaryFits India, which is a fintech company that through its platform allows for products or service providers to integrate their systems with payroll information of entities, providing access to a new risk assessment tool as well. We have with us Mr. Gilmer Mota, who's the country manager of SalaryFits India, so our final speaker for this session. Let's have a round of applause to welcome him as well, and let's get to hear from him.
Thank you. Yes, forward and back. Good evening. First, namaste. I know that my name is quite hard, Guilherme, but I used to introduce myself here as Gui. So it's easy for you, like Indian butter. There's no way to forget that. So why a Brazilian company are coming over India to try to develop a new product, to try to grow a new market here in India? Currently, around the world, we have 2 billion people unbanked in the financial scenario. We can say that more than 50% of these individuals are based in Asia, and especially in India, more than 200 million people. I can compare that like a whole Brazilian of Indian adults that have never stepped inside the bank, maybe, potentially. But still better that the scenario like 5-6 years ago, with more than 500 million people without a bank account here in India. We are seeing the government changing, we are seeing the market changing, and it's growing really well, and it's quite good. Sorry. So, why the banks and most of the financial providers are not looking for these citizens here in India? Because they have a high cost to do that. Like most of the companies here, they are looking for the top of the pyramid. You have like the KYC costs. This is a subprime market, we can say. And we're still having a big market of the AAA here in India. Like, we can say that here in India, we have like almost 2 million people. That's a potential first-class market here. It's like, again, like a Brazil of a great market here. And why, again, they're not looking for that? The bureaucracy is quite hard. Maybe not for us, but for most of the citizens here in India that are receiving here like less than 20,000 rupees monthly, less than 30,000 rupees monthly, it's quite hard to get involved in the financial scenario. Like this process sometimes can take like around 2 weeks just to get approved. And when you are looking for money, when you are looking for credit, you need that right now. Like in case, for example, on a financial loan, a health loan, you don't want to wait for 2 weeks to know if you will be approved or not for that. The eKYC is a good project here in India. It's taking the points and really, really faster. And this has been changing like for the last 2 years. But how we could improve, we could bring financial inclusion to this scenario for this base of the pyramid that most of the banks and financial service providers are not looking for right now. We can promote like a cost-effective platform. We can say that we can promote in a paperless solution in a faster way, in a really fair way. Like we believe that we should promote here in India a sustainable way to provide credit in the market. So I bring salary fits. We are a spin-off concept of a company in Brazil that has been working in this market for the last 20 years. I will tell a little bit about our success case there. But I can say that most of the fintech companies here in India, now on this wave, are thinking about how to empower the individual in the way to spend money. Like I can say the case of the wallets is a very good case here in India. Today we have Paytm, Oxygen, Mobweek, Free Charger. We have a lot of e-wallets here. But they are not thinking in how really empower their clients. Like, let's suppose that I have some needs and I need 2,000 rupees on my wallet this month. But I don't have a bank account and I don't have even a credit card. Using our platform, bringing the employer to the scenario, creating a health sustainable environment, we can empower them and giving them credit. And sometimes life needs can mean credit needs. So salary fits, we can promote loans for festivity, most of them personal loans. We can promote loans for health. We can promote loans like, for example, Diwali is coming right now, so if you are looking for a loan, you can use that, bringing your company committed to this environment. And doing in a sustainable environment, we can be away of bad loans here in India. Like 3-4 years ago, India had started to provide a lot of credit cards to the market, and it was a really bad situation. Barclays was one of the banks that was trying to do this here in India, but they didn't know how to do that and how to erase your clients. So we have cases, for example, that's very common, especially here in India, golden loans, shark loans, and payday loans, and this is not fair. Like, even on the formal way, like banks, some banks here in India, sometimes they try to provide you a loan that you're going to be involved in like 60% of your salary involved in this loan. So you can pay the first, the second, and maybe the third. But you have other needs. You need to pay your rent, you need to pay your food, and other stuff. So we have this cloud computing platform that we connect employees through our platform with financial service providers, bringing the employer committed to this environment to process the deductions before disburse the salary. So in our case, the bank, they have the security from the employer, from the company, that they will receive the amount of the installment before the employer receives the salary. So we are reducing the risk to the bank, and for this reason, we are also reducing the interest rates for the clients. Benefits, you can enhance the employee financial health. Like a few years ago, some companies start to think about the health of their team. Now they know that the financial health is also important, especially here in India after the demonetization moment. From the banks, we can be viewed as a commercial tool to them that easily they can target and they can reach a huge number of employees. From the employer view, we can be viewed as a pool of benefits to your team. And there is no cost at all to the companies to promote this kind of platform inside your company. And I'm not bringing this case from my pocket here. As I told on the beginning, we have been doing that in Brazil for the last 20 years. Right now, we are doing the same in Mexico, UK, Portugal, Italy, Spain, and here in India. We are in a market that we have disbursed in the market more than $17 billion. We have 5 million users on our platform, 3 million users on our platform, and we process monthly 5 million deductions on the payrolls. We work with the main courts in Brazil, the city halls. We have huge clients like Nestlé is one of our biggest clients in Brazil. Just Nestlé in Brazil, they have 23,000 employees using our platform to approach for benefits. And just bringing an example, comparing salary deduction loans with credit cards. Both of them, in a couple of last few years, have been growing considerably. Brazil is a very competitive market and very tough market. But if I bring the reality about the interest rates, you can see a totally different scenario. Even here in India, we believe that we can decrease the interest rates for around 6% of the best personal loan that a citizen can have here in India. So here in India, we are talking about something like 10% per annum. The banks used to sell that around 11, 12, but when you do the maths with the tax, it goes around 18% per year. And better than that, the default rates. The average of default rates in Brazil for personal loans is around 6% per year. In credit card is a very, very tough market. It's around 62% per year. But in our case, we have that in 0.5% per year. There is no default rate. So I can say that maybe I could bring two answers for the previous session from Ms. Dr. Singh, that how you can keep your team, how you can empower your team. I believe that you have a sustainable tool to do that. And this is salary fits. My contacts are on the screens as well. And shukriya and dhanyabad.
All right, so let's have the lights in the audience as well, and let's take questions from them. I'm going to request you to please once again raise your hands. We'll have the mics passed on to you.
Hi, my question is to Guy. I mean, you talk about creating a credit system wherein you get a pre-approved loan directly on the by being on my payroll. Let's say my team is on my payroll and they want something, they want to spend somewhere, and they can utilize their current payroll with me and I pay the debt on their behalf while deducting it from their salary. So what I want to understand is, let's say that happens and if the life cycle of that loan is 6 months and my employee leaves me 4 months in period. So what happens to the rest 2 months?
Yeah.
How do we deal with that challenge?
Good question. First, the company, the employer, is not, they don't have the reliability on the agreement, on the loan agreement. The company is just committed on the environment to process the deductions until you have that employee. So, for example, in case, some companies here in India, they are, when you have an employee knocking our HR, they used to promote this kind of loans by their own funds. And what we are able to promote is a portal, a platform that can be an app or a web cloud platform that you can promote, provide to your employee a better chance to get a better benefits. And this is important because what we're promoting to them is better than everything that they can have if they're going by themselves to the market. But again, to your question, the company is just committed to process the deductions, but responsibility on that is always from the individual, always from the employee.
So it means that I would have to notify you that the employee is not with us anymore, and then you take it on yourself, the organization takes it on themselves to collect it back from the
In mature markets like right now, Brazil and Mexico, you can just transfer the responsibility, the commitment of this deduction from another company that suppose that this employee is joining another company. But what we can do here in India that is more than everything that banks or other companies they have right now is, when you get fired, for example, you receive several payments for that. So some percentage of that payment can be took to pay to keep part of this loan. But we can use that as well, like in monthly process, like life insurance, healthcare. We are not taking amount in advance, but it's easy and cost effective to the companies to have that deducted directly from the fund than try to receive that directly from the client.
Hello, I'm Rishi. I'm from Pune. I'm just a new entrepreneur, and I have a question for Mr. Mahesh. So you said that for your products, most of your products, you find all your components in India. So could you tell us some of the problems that you encountered while finding all possible components in India, and how did you overcome those?
Can you hear me? Yeah. So the components, we don't have a component ecosystem. So we are essentially sourcing most of the components from outside. So if you look at processors, whether it's Intel or Qualcomm, memory is coming from Samsung, storage, display. So the component level, we are not even there as a country. We are far, far from building a component ecosystem. We are still sort of going from services to manufacturing, and I think we are attempting to be try to build products where we control sort of the industrial design, mechanical engineering, sort of the colors and the materials, the software, the entire backend, the Tronics backend is all developed here, all the artificial intelligence, all the IoT connectivity we are doing, how we are sort of making your phone talk to your tablet, talk to your laptop, talks to your mic, how we are capturing your health and other things with it. So those level of innovations we are focusing on right now. Component ecosystem, I think it's going to take some more time.
All right, room for one last question. Yes. We'll have the mic passed on to that end. Ma'am, if you may please raise your hands for one more time. Yeah.
Hi, I have a question for Mr. Mahesh Gupta. Sir, since you operate in different countries, so what is the difference? There are different kind of waters in different kind of places. So how do you operate that way?
Well, whenever we go to a country, we need to understand the quality of water to offer a correct solution. We have products meeting all types of water, different products for different quality of water, and then we need to offer that product for that particular country. Like if you go to Middle East, you will find they all use desalinated water, and they never drink tap water. They're always buying a 20-liter water can, and that water is used. It's a hot and humid country, so they're required to drink a lot of water. So we find that that's the ideal country where we can sell much more of water purifiers. And that's where we offered them, and we went to what type of water purifier they like to have. And we noticed that they all have modular kitchens, and they like to keep a water purifier below the counter, and this we call it under the counter water purifier. So that is what we offered them, and that's working quite well. So depending upon the country, depending upon their way of using water and the quality of water, we need to offer the solution to them.
All right then, so well on that note, we come to the end of that exciting session there. I'm going to request Ms. Punita Kapoor, the Assistant Editor of Entrepreneur Media, to please come on stage and present a token of gratitude to all of our three speakers. And can we have a huge round of applause there from our members of the audience to thank our speakers for their valuable time. Thank you once again. All right, thank you very much indeed. Well, it's time to march ahead to our next session, and as we take a good look at the agenda, it says the future of work. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us a very young, dynamic, and a successful entrepreneur who, in fact, has been a game changer as well as a pro-community building person. Now, he's somebody who believes in the mantra about do what you love. So I think he's also wearing that attitude that he comes with. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us the director of We Work India, Mr. Karan Virwani. So please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Karan Virwani on the stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Good evening, everyone. Firstly, thank you for having me here. It's a great honor to firstly be among so many entrepreneurs and so many people who are creating really big businesses. Just want a quick show of hands. How many of you actually feel that you do what you love? That's awesome. That is amazing. That's amazing to see so many hands, and it was something like expected being at this forum. WeWork is really a platform for all of you. It's a platform for creators. It's a platform for people who are looking to build their businesses and who understand that being part of a community and being part of an ecosystem that allows you to collaborate and share your ideas is only going to help you build this business and your business much faster. If you see, all of you are doing exciting things, innovation and hundreds of different companies doing all sorts